Yeah, new album. We just finished it not long ago. We had Momo come in from Diaphrix, which was really great, and we had these new songs that we were doing from the last album that we were sort of feeling for this new album, and yeah, we've decided to get Momo in because he's just awesome brother to hang around with, and also teaches us a lot about beats and taught us a lot about putting music together. It was just grouse working with him because we were all on the same level, and we're going to call the album just Standing Strong. And really proud of this next album because we really improved ourselves, and yeah, we're just experimenting along the way, just building our sound.
We've been around music since we were, little ones. Um, Jimba's dad, my uncle Selwyn, he's played in various bands, Coloured Stone, Blackfire, and Mixed Relations with Bart Willoughby and all that. And like we've just grew up with that music background, and like we've always thought, like want to be up there on stage doing music. So I guess I got into because of that. But really like what got it going was Jimba. Jimba did his first hip hop track, and like I was at Alice Springs at that time when he did it, and my dad had just come back from Melbourne and showed me the track, and soon as I heard it, I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do, So yeah, so I was just inspired by Jimba and my uncle Sal, yeah.
Well, the album's called Standing Strong. It's just sending a message out there to the young fellas to keep your head up, and we talk about our struggles, what the world don't hear about every day, and yeah, just to keep your head up there, and if you're doing your thing, just don't let people pull you down. Just stand strong. Yeah, I mean, music brings people together. If there was no music in the world, I don't know what we'd do.
Be
But
crazy.
just to see people smiling and to see people having a good time,
Yep.
instead of hearing all the crap that you hear about, this fella's doing that, fella's that doing this. And when you got all them fellas at a gig and they're all smiling and have a good time, that's what I love.
Yeah, like well, as Jim has said before, we bring our culture into it, and like, we're still trying to find that sound. We're still like experimenting with it, but
Mm.
like we talk about like what we grew up around, and like it's like where I grew up around is different compared to Melbourne. Like I grew up around the bush, seeing dirt and all this and that. So like I try to you know rap about that a lot. Mix it up with the urban style. But yeah, like we just try to bring that culture flavour into it in the lyrics, and not talk about um, what you see on TV and all this and that.
And I reckon we're sort of, like D-Boy said, experimenting with music is that we're finding ourselves too, because we're working with a lot of other different artists as well. We're not just doing hip-hop, artists, we're doing all types of genre of music, and what fits in our music. So, yeah, we're still finding ourselves. So. I had to grow up fast. I had my dad and mum around me a lot. My mum was always out. She's always painting and stuff, so she was always out when I was little. So I had to stand up and be the mum. And when we had my brothers and sisters, that was it. I just had to grow up. I really couldn't be that kid that had toys and had the Xboxes and all this. And yeah, I really had to grow up, which was good because I had my brothers with me, so I could have fun and grow up at the same time. Yeah, and as a young fella, I grew up in Alice Springs. Moved down here when I was 5. But yeah, moving to the city was really funny because I'd lost a lot of language. Me and D-Boy. D-Boy went this way and I went that way. And well, that's one thing about blackfellas though, is that kinship. our communities. Is like you hear a lot of fellas like, "You're all related, aren't you?" No, it's not that. It's the kinship within our communities. It's, we all know each other because of our grandmothers and because of where we come from. And I had both sides of the fence. So I got my full-blooded side, Northern Territory. Then I have my father's side, which is Yorta Yorta country, and that goes up to Wiradjuri as well. And so I learnt from hearing both sides of the fence, the struggles from my dad's side of the family to the culture that we still got. Yeah, I grew up like that. It was always about culture and family.
Yeah, grew up in Alice Springs. Moved around a lot when I was young, back and forth from like Adelaide to Melbourne to down New South Wales, and like right back again to up to Alice Springs and that. I've moved around. Just moved around a lot. But like growing up out in the bush, like I can't really remember much. But like just hanging around the family and hunting, and doing all the things you do out bush, it was real good, and till I had to come back to the city and that again, for schooling and all that, and mum and dad jobs and all that stuff, So like that's how come I was moving around, because they were finding places to get jobs and all this and that, and their art, because mum and dad were both artists. Like if you might have known my grandpa, he's a well-known Aboriginal artist, Clifford Possum. So, like my mum and dad, and like hanging around him, being an artist, we carried on through the family, painting and stuff like that. So we travelled around a lot, That's all I could really say when I was young. That's all I could pretty much remember. But running the muck as well and all that stuff.
Running the muck.
Me and this guy. Man, that was good.
This guy was a mad skater too. I went and seen him in Kempsey one time when he was a young fella, and he was like Tony Hawk, man.
Nah.
Like when he was like, I don't know, how old were you, bro? 13, 12?
Would be sitting there.
Yeah, true. Oh, there's a lot. I mean, we've been travelling for the last 5 years everywhere around Australia, and we come from also a remote community called Mount Ellen, and Dibboy comes from a remote community called Ernabella, and just over the years seeing a lot of struggling through our people, and through the government as well, sort of holding blackfellas back, and what they want to do and succeed. And it's hard for blackfellas because we sort of got that both sides of the fence, where we're that urban blackfella and we're that bush blackfella, and sort of to put that together, we could do something with that. And that's what I've done with hip hop. I just put my culture in the hip hop culture, see what I could do with it.
Started off, like just doing my own thing, and as doing these performances, like getting a lot of kids coming up, and talking about, they want to do rapping and all this and that, and they like our music, and they're really inspired by our music and that. So I guess now, like, taking that on board, being a role model, and so yeah, you can kind of say, yeah.
Moving around this globe and just sending a message out, and just that's it, sending a message out to the world, tell the world that what they don't see every day. That's gonna be grouse.
Yeah, we've got the Black Boy National Tour with Coloured Stone as the main headline act, and that'll start in August, around the 20th, and we're looking really forward to doing that, because it's our first tour with, and it's with a great band that I grew up listening to, that we all grew up listening to, in the Aboriginal community. And it's going to be great. Can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Everyone always asking me too, like, well, how's it going to be like with your dad on tour doing stuff like that? Man, he's my best friend, So we're just going to have fun on the way.
That's it.
I've never been around Australia, like if it wasn't for them fellas, not a lot of fellas would know where to go through the desert, because they sort of made them tracks out in the desert.
Pioneers.
Yeah, pioneers. I just wanted to say to all them young fellas that are, doing their thing, whether it's sports, whether it's music, whether it's anything, may be complicated, but just grab it, grab that opportunity, and keep your head up at the same time. Yeah.
I'd just like to say, stay tuned for the new album, Young Warriors, Standing Strong, will be out September, and the Black Ball National Tour with Colourstone and Young Warriors coming this August.
Yeah.